idea came from doing merch for one of our bands at one of their gigs, and then I found that when selling their stuff, it was nice to meet the people who wanted to buy it, and that's how record labels start generally, indie labels anyway. You know, it's usually you don't have a distributor, you have to kind of start somewhere, and so you're kind of flogging the stuff yourself, and you kind of end up sort of being quite removed from the people that buy your stuff, you know. And so I thought it'd be fun to meet the people who like their music.
What is great is to have a lot of labels in one place. The thing about independent labels generally is that everybody thinks of an independent as being, well, they're not part of a major, but actually they're very independent from each other as well. There's not like a group of people who walk around in a pack. So, you know, we often don't actually get a chance to talk to each other or see each other. So a day like this, just from the people who run the labels, is great.
It's good to see other labels, and it's good to see the people you're selling to directly, because you normally go through a distributor or a middleman, or they just download it off the internet for free. So to meet them face to face, it's great. We've had such great reactions from people coming saying hello.
We're an internet label, really, so it's kind of, you never see the people that buy your records, and there's not that kind of thing. I was getting a bit weirded out, you know, people looking and then not liking it maybe, and you get kind of nervous, but I think that's kind of healthy and cool. It's easy to hide behind the internet and just put a record up, and then you ship, you know, 150 off to Japan, or like, you know, 100 to America, and you never see the people that are actually kind of getting involved in what you're doing, so it's really enriching like that.
There was this concept that fans of labels would engage with owners of labels, and I thought, yeah, maybe, but it's totally been true. People have been coming along and asking questions and filling gaps in the record collections.
There's a special kind of atmosphere between people that run independents. We're in competition, but it's a competition of sharing information, sharing resources, helping each other when we can. There's a spirit of camaraderie. It's important to show that when we can publicly.
There are all sorts of independent labels, but generally speaking, the people who work at and run the labels are doing it purely for the love of the music, and the business comes second.
We're all friends, most of us know each other from an independent perspective. I mean, I can't imagine Sony, Warner's and Universal doing this.
Independent record labels are very closely aligned with musicians. Being an artist and being in a band, these things, they require an awful lot of passion and devotion and commitment and energy.
I think you've seen some major bands leaving majors and wanting to come to independence. Radiohead's a good example of a band that see their future not with a major corporation.
There's always going to be a place for like people who really care about music, yeah, and whether you're selling that by a digital download or a vinyl record or whatever, you know, you still need people who really care about music to put it out.
There's always going to be a music industry. I don't know how it's going to go. It'll go digital, but it's never going to disappear.
Music's incredibly healthy. The nature of it's changing a lot. It's tough for shops on the high street, but if you're a musician and you're making great records, then it's very doable.
You know, the internet's happened, so that's really what's changed everything. But it's a good time. You know, the music couldn't be really healthier, so it's still equally exciting. But just there's new changes and challenges all the time. You just got to believe in talent, really, and believe in great artists and find ways to work with them.
You just have to be more creative and make sure that you're releasing really, really good music that you believe in.
You're only as good as the music you put out. It's as simple as that, really. If the music's good, people are always going to want it. People are always going to want to go out and dance.
I mean, my label's 21 years old this year, and I've had people, you know, who bought us in the early days, or people that have cared about it throughout that 21 years, those 2 generations, whatever that is, have come along and had a chat. And it has been good to have that conversation.
You know, when we started and when a lot of these older labels started, like Rough Trade or 4AD, Factory, we all started roughly the same time. None of us knew what we were doing at all. Nobody had really worked in the music industry before. We were just people putting records out without any industry experience, just like most people are putting music up on the internet now. So in that sense, it's just expanded massively. But actually, the thinking behind it hasn't changed that much.
I was expecting to sell new artists like Jose Gonzalez, Little Dragon. Surprisingly, a lot of the limited edition techno classic releases that we were known for in the early 90s have sold well.
In the last couple of years, I guess I've seen vinyl come back into fashion quite a bit. People don't seem to want to buy CDs anymore because what they want is something to put on their iPod and also maybe a beautiful product to own. So you can buy like a vinyl LP, and all of my stuff comes with like download codes now. So you get the MP3s to put in your iPod, and you also get the the beautiful 12-inch artwork as well.
This event is proof that people buy records and they still like to own it. I think Triangle's the youngest label on the strip, so I was worried, but it's gone really, really well. A nice confidence booster.
I think it's been fantastic. It's been like overwhelmingly positive from punters and all the people involved. I think it's been a really great exercise, and it's kind of makes what we do and what all these other labels do way more personal.
Business has been very brisk. The atmosphere has been excellent. Great spirit amongst the place. It's been really good to get down there. A lot of fun, really.
It's been excellent. I've enjoyed being on the market, talking to the consumer directly, getting passionate about stuff.
Since we got here this morning, it's been like a steady stream of people who have been buying records, which is great.
This is what it's all about. It's about giving our artists a platform to do what they do and representing them in the way we can represent them.